To formally introduce myself, my name is Danica, and thank you so much for taking the time to do this interview. And our podcast is called 限速岛民 in Chinese, and translated into English, it's called Speed Limit Islander. It's kind of like a weird random name. And the main topics we usually do is just like general topics about life, about designs and TV shows, and just like our experience in the US. Also, like my podcast partner, she has some other stuff she has to do, so it's just be me. But like normally it's like me and another of my friend. We just chat and walk. So it's like very chill.
Nice.
Yeah, and we started a new series to research on different side hustles and side businesses we can do. And so this episode, we are researching on food cart business in New York City. And I just immediately thought of you and think you should be like perfect guest for this. So that's how it got started. Okay. So can you introduce yourself and also your food truck businesses?
Okay.
Yeah.
So my name is Sokhita Sok. I live here in New York City with my family, and I work as a qualified nutritionist at work, and I also run a Cambodian food stall at Queens Night Market called Cambodia Now.
So how long have you been operating your food truck in New York City, and is it always in Queens Night Market?
So I started my journey with Queens Night Market in June 2019. And I started selling there for the first time as a food vendor. But from there, I branched out to other food events throughout New York City, like Japan Fest. There's another one at City Field, so multiple ones throughout the city since 2019. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I also went to the Chinatown one.
Yes,
I don't
the
know the name.
Chinatown.
Yes, the Chinatown one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they're starting again in June.
Oh, nice.
Next month, yeah.
So this year, you guys already started, right?
So we started April 13. So I did one the first week, and then I left for Cambodia for 2 weeks. So for Queens Night Market, it's every Saturday, starting from April to October.
So can you like briefly introduce the food menu, and also what is your best seller for your food store?
So we sell Cambodian food. It's a Southeast Asian cuisine. Mostly use a lot of herbs, a lot of spices that can be found within the regions. That include lemongrass, galangal, garlic, shallot, kaffir leaf, turmeric. So it's very much inspired from I think South Asian Indian culture as well. But we have our own kick to it, of course. So far, I would say our bestseller would be, we have two bestseller items. One of them is Khmer fish amok. It's pretty much steamed curry fish. It's the souffle, soft textured, and we serve it with rice. And we also have our skewers, chicken and beef. I marinated with lemongrass paste. So those are our best sellers so far.
I also tried both of them the 2 times I went to.
Yeah,
place,
I remember serving you.
Yeah.
Did you like the fish, the Khmer fish?
Yes, I did. Yes, I think it's very good. Yeah, and also remind me of other like Southeast Asian food also.
Yeah. We pretty much share most of the spices that find within the regions for sure. Yeah. Glad you'll enjoy it.
Yeah. So, what inspired you to start this Cambodia Now here? And is there like a big Cambodia community here in New York City?
So I don't have business background necessarily, and my family, they don't really do business either. We mostly just work, regular jobs. One time I visited Night Market on 29, in the year 2019 as well, but it was in April. Yeah, we were just there trying different cuisine, and it was really nice, because they feature a lot of vendors that I don't even know the country to begin with, but I was able to try their food there. And I think my sister's boyfriend, now my brother-in-law, he's Hispanic, and he mentioned that, why don't you guys open a Cambodian stall, mind you that I don't really cook like that, so let alone being a chef, being a cook, and running the business itself. So I think that was the seed of the Cambodia Now. And from there I got home and I looked through the application and everything. And yeah, so John Wang, the organizer of Queens Night Market, the founder, he was pretty responsive when I submitted the application that day in April 2019. I guess because Cambodian cuisine was very, we're not as known, and it's pretty hard to find in New York City. At that time, there was only one restaurant, I can remember, Cambodian restaurant in the city, in New York City, in Upper East Side. So yeah, he was pretty responsive and pretty resourceful in terms of what I need to get if I want to apply, if I want to join the community, as well as what I want to sell. And he would be the person to approve everything as well. And in terms of the Cambodian community in New York City, before, I think in around 1980s, there were more. But now they branch out, they move to different state, I guess, because at that time, around 1980, that's when the asylum refugee were dumped in the Bronx, because it's an underserved community. A lot of refugees from Southeast Asia were allocated there. It was bigger than when my grandma was here, so she would have, her Cambodian neighbors next door or within the same building. But now I was like the second, not the second where I was like the new wave immigrant. I don't necessarily have that sense of we don't really have that, big of a community anymore in New York City. I think it's bigger in Massachusetts, low Massachusetts. But in New York City, we pretty spread out. I think once or twice a year we would have a gathering at the temple. But in terms of, a community where you get together, it has to be, I guess, a house party or something. But I don't think we have a big community in New York City right now. Yeah.
Yeah, also I did my own little research when I'm searching Cambodia Now, and actually I find someone on Reddit, so someone asking like Cambodia food, and someone on Reddit just recommend your food stall, and saying
really?
and saying there are now many Cambodia food here.
Oh, that's good to hear. I'm on Reddit, on the good side of Reddit. Good thing.
So can you walk me through like a typical day operating Cambodia Now? And I know you also have a daytime job. So like how do you balance manage these two things?
It changes throughout the year, honestly, because when I started 2019, I did pursue it full time. I did the night market. I did this indoor market from Monday to Friday. But then 2020, that's when COVID hit. So we were kind of forced to shut down like everyone else in March of 2020. So that's when I had to, shift my whole vision to, get a full-time job, do something else. And then, so from there, I had to work 9 to 5 and then just do the night market, sell food either Saturday or Sunday or both Saturday and Sunday on the weekend. So now this year I had to work full-time job. So in terms of prepping and buying the inventory is a little harder now. Because where I work, it's a little hard to find parking and I don't drive to work. So I had to take Uber after work, go to the wholesale place, buy it, and then have my family pick me up. So it's a lot of hands-on, or I would have to wake up because the wholesale market would open at night around 2 a.m. So sometimes I would have to wake up. Yeah, they open pretty early. I guess it's
That's
so 2 a.m.
Is it
to
night
6
or
p.m.
morning?
good thing they open late night, so I'm able to maneuver my way around it. But yeah, so sometimes we just wake up in the middle of the night, or in the morning at dawn to shop and then go to work after work. But I try my best to do it on a Sunday, because Monday to Friday I work, and then most of the time they close in the evening. So I would have all my stuff ready. I would sell on Saturday, and then Sunday I would try to gather what I need to prep for the whole week. But this year I also prep ahead before the night market start, during the winter. So I'm a little ahead as well. So yeah, it's a little hectic. It's a lot to maneuver, but it's doable. It's doable. I got a lot of help and support from my family, from my sisters. So that's another, it's only possible because of them too.
Yeah, and also I see your whole family at the food store.
Yeah. All my sisters there, they grumpy and all, but they there to help.
How many people do you minimum need to operate?
So most of the prepping I would do it myself. Prepping, shopping, skewering, slicing, and everything I would do it myself when I'm home. But if my sister able to help out with the skewering and everything, they would do. But they have the job. They have the full-time job too. So I'm basically the backbone. In terms of on-site operation, I would need at least 3 people, 4 including myself, because I need one person to be in the front, and then I have not a large menu but a decent menu, so I need at least someone at the grill, someone at the egg roll station, and the Khmer fish and mug station. So we need at least 3 in the back. Yeah.
And I know we talked about this a little bit before, but how do you handle permits and regulation required for the food stall? Because doing my research, I find for all those movable food cart vendors, there's impossible to get a permit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they are selling on black market, and also people rent them 10,000, 20,000 per year just for the permit. That's crazy.
No, you're right. You really did your research. Yeah, so I have friends in the food cart business and the food vendor business. We do talk a lot about how to get the permit for the mobile or the food truck. But now, the last time I heard, New York City don't even issue the food truck license anymore or permit anymore, because there's so many of them. That's why that you can buy from the black market, you can buy from other vendor. They don't vend anymore. They stop pursuing the business. You can do that, 20 to 35,000. Sometimes you get the truck along with the permit, and that's why sometimes people they sell fake license or permit. And that's another issue as well. But in terms of right now, we're only doing temporary, yearly, annual permit. So for me, not necessarily the food truck permit. For us, the street vendor, we just do it every year. And luckily, John, the organizer, he helped me out a lot. I think he does it for every vendor, first time vendor. So he gave me a list of what to do, and yeah, so basically I just follow through that and renew it every year with the insurance, temporary food service, what else? Yeah, the license for the propane usage. So those things, once you get it, you do have to take an exam for the food handler as well at the Department of Mental Hygiene. So you do have to take an exam. It's a one-time thing. Once you pass, you pass. You don't have to renew that food handler license. But yeah, everything else is just an annual renewal.
Is it fairly easy to renew it?
Yeah, so I usually go to the one on Wall Street. There's a Department of Health there, so they make it pretty easy. I guess they resourceful because most of the food vendors are immigrants. So in terms of the language, the documentation can be very confusing, honestly. So I guess there's a little more patient and understanding when you go there, because a lot of people are just we just need to get things done, not necessarily and abide the law as well. So but New York City, I think they are a little lenient with the the language usage and everything. So and they helpful in terms of explaining and taking that time. That's what I find out as well. Yeah, but for other thing like a fire department where they don't really deal with the vendor like that, but we do need to get their permit. Sometimes they can be a little standoffish in terms of helping out, you know. So, but for the Department of Health, the one that usually I go to, they deal with a lot of, you know, immigrant vendors, food vendors, so they pretty helpful and resourceful for sure.
That's really good to know. Yeah. So I'm assuming like the vibe in the Queens market is pretty good, like amongst the vendors.
Honestly, New York City itself is a melting pot. It's a salad bowl, but Night Market it's even integrated into something else that I think it's very much my type of salad bowl. You know, although New York City is a salad bowl, but there's still, you know, majority, like say Hispanic, African, from different African countries. So it's still not like Asian dominant.
Yes,
I would say
Asian, it's not Asian dominant at all.
Yeah, so yeah, New York City, there's all walks of life, but I think Night Market is even more, you know, my vibe in terms of not only I able to bring out my food to serve the community. I think it's like a small business and underrepresented cuisine there as well. So it's just something that's even more intimate that I can be is relatable to me, you know. So it's very much a niche, my niche, and relatable to me.
That's so good. Yeah. So what do you think like the key qualities or skills needed to succeed in this business?
So I'm not the most prepared person, so in terms of skill set, I would just go dive in first before I know things. I call it blind ambition almost. That's what I usually go about life anyway. But yeah,
I need this.
Yeah, and that's what happened to me as well. A lot of trials and error, and I think you have to be a little insane into, you know, jumping into something that you don't know, like the uncertainty of things. From there, you learn how to be more prepared as well. Honestly, or I think it's just that stop ruminating in your head and just, you know, it's simplified. Just it's easier when you put it out there. You know, it's not as complicated once you like take that first leap of faith, you know.
That's very inspiring because I'm not that kind of person. I very much want to be that kind of person.
Oh no. It's but once you have like a bad errors, it takes a lot of time for you to, like, you know, clean up your mess as well. But so far I think with this business, with the food business that I'm doing, you know, with the blind business that I jumped in without knowing what I got myself into, it did burn me out in terms of I didn't know the intensity of the labor work that I have to put in. So yeah, it definitely taught me a lesson there as well. But the reward itself, it's good. You know, it's satisfying seeing, you know, able to share a piece of you to a lot of people, to New York City. So I think it's a catch-22. You don't always win. You win some, you lose some.
Yeah. Also, food is like a really good connection to people, to community, and to everything. Yeah.
It's definitely built my confidence. I'm a little bolder in terms of how I present myself. I feel like I stand my ground firmer, and especially the relationship with my sister. When, you know, things hit the fan, like, you know, when I couldn't do it, and then they jumped in, or like, you know, they would sacrifice that Saturday for me every weekend last year or whenever they can. It's really strengthened the sisterhood, and, you know, it shows that it's pretty meaningful, you know. So that's for me. But it's definitely something nice.
So how do you attract customer to your food truck?
Since we're still doing like the street vending, I usually just join an organizer and then have them do the marketing. So on my end, I can only do, advertisement on my page or my Instagram, which I do encourage us to do. But majority of the marketing, majority of the customer attracting would be on the organizer end. And that's really important because I think for Queens Night Market, they've done plenty of good job in terms of doing marketing and attracting the right customer, with the price range and everything. So because I work with other organizer that doesn't do as much, so the sell, you wouldn't get good foot traffic and you wouldn't make good sell because of that as well. So it's really important to pick the right organizer, the reputable one, the one that actually wouldn't care, not just like taking the rent money from us and just do whatever. It's just not, some people are not even on site, the organizer, when things happen, when the event happens.
Yeah.
So it's really important for you to get the right organizer, honestly.
Yeah, and it really surprised me that it's only one person holding like this whole big night market together.
So Johnny, he's a character for sure because he does almost like a one-man show, because he delegate things very articulately and making sure everyone done the things correctly, and also he's on the field with them. He's not just, okay, you do this, and then when things go south, he would know what's going on. So he cares about the event for the vendor and not just taking the money and then, he's being pretty transparent, basically. He's saying that he's not really making profit from us. It's, he does he has his own like food, beer and beverage stand. That's how he make profit. But in terms of getting the money from us, not really. Yes.
But I just curious, while you are doing the food stall, how do you attract customer like coming to your food stall? Do you need to do that? Or is like so many people?
No, I mean, it's, once we're there, we're done. We have to just like make sure the food is cooked. Okay. Yeah, no. Well, once we're there already, it's done. Like if we didn't do enough marketing, if they didn't do enough marketing on the end, well, we don't have a mascot going around anything. We don't. I see other vendor, they would do that. They have like, I think they call tiger something, and then they do have like a tiger mascot walking around giving sample. But I never had to go to that extent just yet, because usually I don't have the manpower to walk around or attracting customers. So good thing I mean it's another way of attracting people, but so far I never had to do that just yet.
That's good. Just focusing on making food.
Yeah. So it's really lucky that I was just able to just focus on that instead of do all the marketing as well.
So how do you manage like the logistics of sourcing the ingredients and supplies for your menu? And also, I know they're really pushing for affordable food there. So it's like $5-6. Does it affect your food menu strategy? Because like the food is selling pretty cheap and affordable.
Yeah. So last year it hit us pretty bad in terms of, profit and everything because the price was really high, the food price. I think it's just like, you just have to be a little patient. You win some, you lose some. You can always, make money and like all the time. So it's just gotta wait. It's not just us that got affected by it. So we waited it out. This year the price actually went down. So the wholesale price went down, so it's a little easier for us for sure. And in terms of sourcing our resources of inventory, since we sell Asian food, Cambodian food, it's a little hard for us to just go to a regular supermarket here in the Bronx. There's some item I would be able to pick it up, like bell peppers and all those things, but in terms of spices, banana leaves, which I use a lot, all those things I would have to go to Queens, Elmhurst and buy bulk of it. And in terms of meat and wholesale meat, I would just go to Jetro, the restaurant depot. They have a lot of it's like Costco but for business people. So there's one in the Bronx by my house. There's one in Flushing I usually go to. So my shopping route would be Jetro and then go to the Chinese supermarket around I think Bayside area. So it's A lot of running around, but it's okay because we're still small scale. We don't have suppliers just yet. If you have a restaurant, I guess it's a little easier. You don't have to care about going. I think you still have to go in once in a while to pick up your produce, but you would have, suppliers to go
like
to
deliveries.
Yeah. So we don't have that luxury just yet. So
yeah.
yeah.
Also, Bronx to Queens is very far. It is very far to go to Queens.
But we live close to the bridge from the Bronx to Queens.
Oh.
So that makes it a lot easier as well. Yeah. If we go deep in the Bronx, it would be quite a drive. So.
Next question is a little bit business. So what are the key metrics you use to operate a business, and also what strategies have you implemented to increase revenue?
I mean, just Excel and all those things to keep track of myself. But in terms of business vision, right now, it's all about sustainability. Just trying to be sustained. It's on a plateau right now. I'm not really, just make sure I'm able to run it. Because, like I said, right now, it's like my personal life and a lot of things that, I have to just making sure everything running smoothly first before I can jump to the next step. The ultimate goal would be either you do more of the food vendor, you find multiple organizer to join, multiple street food, multiple event to join, as much as you can, allocating people, or you get a brick and mortar, a storefront, which requires a lot of capital. So I do see the vision there, but right now it's just however I'm gonna pursue from here. It's to be determined. Right now I just needed to be able to just go smoothly, plateau for now, which is okay. I think it's just I just need to make sure everything runs smoothly first. I need to systemize a lot of things first, and then if I want to go for scalable items or shelf goods, supermarket or whatever. It's a lot of capital, it's a lot of savings. So right now, plateau, saving. I know people say keep your personal and your business away from each other, but I'm only human. I'm only human. So a lot. So it's I don't want to burn out like I did, honestly. So going through what I've gone through with the burning out, because I would have to go back to back. Setting up everything. So it's just a lot for me when I started. Right now, it's just making sure I have things, my ducks in a row before I jump in and, to the next step.
Yeah, that's smart. So can you share any memorable or good experiences, moments you had?
I think for me, it's the family bond. One of them, it would be the family bonding moments. I really get to spend time with my family, with my sisters, my family, and I remember how my family from back home when they visited New York came to my stand, and we had to take a photo. We took a photo in front of my stand. I think it was one of those proud moments, as I guess my family is proud of what I'm bringing to New York City. Yeah, those family moments means a lot to me. With the bickering with my sister in the stand, believe it or not, it's very it's very nice, the little fighting that we have or whatever, but they came through, to help out when's needed. I think it means a lot to me. And in terms of the customer standpoint, it's from someone who doesn't really cook a lot, who doesn't have any business background, and able to share what I used to eat back home, what I would enjoy, my palate, and I could share that to New York City, and I get pretty decent and some really great response. I think that's a good feeling as well, to be able to relate, because as a 0.5 generation immigrant like myself, I have to move from there and have to adapt to this whole new world, and able to share what I have, what I carry along from back home. I think it makes me closer to New York, honestly. Although I felt before, I used to feel a little distant, as a gap somewhat, but now having this small community that's welcome, almost even pay for it to try it. It's something that I didn't think of that it would be possible, and I think it's very rewarding.
Yeah,
So,
it's the
yeah.
magic of New York City.
It's a nice way to connect to people, and I think as much as nowadays we try to be distant, we're not trying to be, it's like we're a little distant, with everything that we, like our way of living, we still very much like interconnected, being. So with this experience, I feel very much connected to the people, like to the city itself. Yeah.
Yeah, everything, like your family, the city, it's all connected.
Yeah. So it's just one experience that we get to share, and I think it's really meaningful.
So, what are the unexpected or biggest challenges you faced in this business? And how did you overcome them?
I would say there's nothing really big. It's just small little things that I have to encounter every day. But then you would try to eliminate it and make it a little easier, make it a little more systemized and organized, because I've gone through a lot of trials and errors in terms of buying stuff, learning how to buy, making sure that I'm able to like systemize a lot of things. It's a never-ending process, a learning process, honestly. As much as you think that you're a pro now, but you're not really, because this is my fifth year doing it, I still forget stuff from the house, so the biggest challenge is like, I think for me it's organizing, making sure I have my list, making sure I have everything's in order, because I still live with my parents, so a lot of things in terms of storage and stuff, it's hard, so I have to buy a lot of storage to make sure everything is being well kept and able to use the next year. Yeah, it's a lot of little things, it's a lot of little things. Yeah, that's why I said, you have to be a little crazy and insane for you to busy yourself like this. But I do admire like those people that do it full time. It's a lot of work. I heard that's the saying, like restaurant owners or like people in food business, they a little insane, but because of the work that I had to do, but the reward itself, I think it's almost surpassed the hard work that you put in.
It feels like a iterative process, and also you have to adapt to make like a better version of everything.
Yeah, no, there's some people that do the street vendors for like 20 plus year. I know someone's at the Night Market. I think Twisted Potato, Sam Ice Cream,
I saw that one.
Yeah.
Very
The
cool.
beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have different spices. So yeah, they one of the OGs there as well. Burma's he started from the food cart in a store in Queens. Now he has he's doing it in the Night Market, and he has his own place too. So people have the journey is long and hard, and it's just a lot of hard work, a lot of you see those people like, wow. I'm nowhere near that.
Respect. Respect.
Yeah, respect.
So, what advice would you give someone who are considering start a food cart business from zero in New York City? Is it like hard work, good food?
Honestly, I think you should go for it, because you would know what's there to. Honestly, you can do all the research you can, all you want. There's this book that this guy that I went to like a business seminar, he told me to read this, like only the paranoid would survive or something. So it makes sense, but also you can just go for it. You learn along the way, because there's only so much research you can do. I'm all about being prepared, but it's really you just really just get into that your foot in the water, and that's how you go from there. I do expect a lot of work for sure, a lot of little things, but if you're an organized person, which it seems like you are, but if you're an organized person, it should be a little less stressful. Just go for it. It's fun. It's if you don't fail, you won't learn anything.
Yeah. We're talking about like personal life and also business. But if you think about your next major goal or a milestone, what is it?
I mean, as typical as it is to have a storefront. So yeah, I think Cambodian cuisine is still pretty much underrepresented. So yeah, I think it would be a good gateway for people to get to know more about Cambodia, and especially, I mean, we had a dark history, but I think we have more than that to offer to the world, you know. It's like a new wave of new generation that's coming up, and I think food is like the best way for them to know us, the culture and everything. So it's a good thing if I able to, you know, sustain or open up a restaurant in the city or wherever I move to. So yeah, it would be the ultimate goal for the food business, honestly. Yeah, for my vision.
I hope one day you can get that goal and I will eat.
Yes, you
in
have
a restaurant. Yeah.
the podcast guest discount.
Yes.
For sure.
Oh, are you going this Saturday?
Oh yes, so well, I signed up for the whole season. I only take a break for the past 2 weeks for a Cambodian trip, but now
Wow,
we're going
that's a
full
lot
blown.
of commitment. Like all the Saturdays
yeah.
you have to be there.
Try
Also,
to tell that to your lover. You know, you don't have Saturday with them.
that's crazy. And it's also start very like and very late, right?
Oh yeah, so we won't get home until, luckily, like I said, we live pretty close to Queens, so the commute, let's say around 20 minutes or so. So we would get home at 12:30, and we would unload the perishable in the cooler, but the rest we would just keep in the car and then do it in the morning. So yeah, we get home after midnight. So yeah.
And it starts at 4.
Yeah, so this year we started at 4 p.m. Last year we started at 5, but I guess because of the men, and it makes more sense for people to come out a little earlier, you know. So we push it to 4 p.m. now.
But you have to prepare everything, and it's like the whole day is gone.
So when we get there at Queens Night Market in Queens, we call it load-in time. We should be able to load in at 1:30. So you can come as early as 1:30 to set up everything, because we all have to set everything up from scratch. The only thing that John provide would be the tent, so you would see like an empty tent across the parking lot, and then you get your own table. You can rent the table as well, but the grill, the setup, the signage, everything has to be from scratch, and we would have to take it out as well after the event ends at night. So it's a hideous process.
Kudos. It's a lot of work. Yeah.
Thank you. It's okay. We'll get used to it.